Hello and welcome back to another episode of Army Man of War and yet another story time video. I'm super excited because I've got lots to show you. There's not going to be any battle in particular. We're mainly going to focus on troop movements. I want you guys to help me out in the comment section. Tell me where we should move the troops. Where do you think will be best with the strategies which I'm about to show you? Which strategy would be the best to take out the opposing forces? So we're currently looking at red territory right here. We can see that we have one general. What's his name? Let's get this screen up right here. That's General Rasputin right there. No, Colonel Rasputin, should I say. And Colonel Rasputin is in charge of this whole area right there. We can see that he's got one of his what would you say this guy is? Maybe he's a captain of some sort. But he's leading this garrison right here. So if we quickly count these, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 companies in reserve ready to go into battle. As well as a further 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 companies ready to deploy. Which you can see that they're in guard mode. So there's 3 different modes that they can be stood in. Or should I say there's 3 different stances. So we've got this. If they're kneel down aiming their gun, it means that they're dug in and ready for the enemy. If they're stood up like this guy but with their gun out, it means they're ready to engage but they could be caught off guard. If they have their rifle on their back, it means that they're in camp mode. Can't get my words out. It's like, what time is it? Let's have a look. Recording this video at 7:27 in the morning. Yes, I'm on it. I'm on a bloody roll. Yes. So this is very unscripted, but every story time is unscripted anyway. So we can see right here we've got the border crossing over to green territory. So green territory and red territory have always been next to each other. If you remember in Season 1, they kind of knocked down that fence, didn't they? And cemented the alliance when the RGB coalition was formed. So going over here, this right here is one... Well, let's get it up right here. I can't remember their names, you know. Right, so this guy right here is a Major Veal. So Veal's troops consist of all of the companies that you see right here. So if we count them, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 companies, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then we've got a 16th company there. So we've got 16 companies with 1, 2, 3, 4 in reserve. 4 companies in reserve. If they're in tents, there's 40 men per tent. There's 80 men per company. So work that one out. Yes. There's a lot of men on these front lines. These little spikes mean that they are deployed and they're dug in, and it means there's going to be heavy defences, like what you saw in the last battle, which was super epic, by the way. So I do urge you to go and check that out. It was a green victory, spoiler alert, but it was a very close victory. Up until the end, you just didn't know who was going to win. So going on to the red side right here, look, we can see that this guy is this guy. So this is one Colonel Razak. And Colonel Razak is ready to deploy his troops. You can see that they're dug in. Look, we've got a further 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 companies, and a further 2 in reserve as well. So Razak is obviously trying to fend off against the Greens over here, just in case they try any funny business and make an assault. So, oh, I forgot that Major Veal is also in charge of these companies here as well. We've got some hidden ones. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 companies in the bushes with a further 1, 2 and a half. So 2.5 companies in reserve. And these guys are guarding the factory. So these factories can build vehicles. I'm not sure what vehicles. I'm going to leave that as a surprise because we don't yet have anything to represent vehicles on the battle map. Maybe we can find something in the future. But at the moment, we're just kind of including them with the companies, like sort of maybe including like a mechanized or something, if the infantry needs any mechanized support, and if they're near one of these factories they get what they want, that kind of thing. These are fortresses, little jungle fortresses. You can see that there's 1 company of men. These guys can't really be deployed. They're mainly for patrol purposes and guarding purposes, but other than that, they do come in use because if there's any enemies nearby, which we can measure with this thing over here. Look, I'm going to be measuring everywhere with these little rulers. Look how cool these are. These are actually with the vanilla game. So for example, one of these right here will represent the reach of a company. If they step within that reach, they can engage. You can see right there, this length right here, they're not within engaging length, but they're close. They're really close, so you can see there's a front line between the two. If they get any closer than that, there will be a battle. Two of them will represent artillery, as well as logistics, and so on and so forth. I think we'll do like 4 of them to represent like an aircraft, if anybody deploys an airfield. So what was we? We've done Razak, we've done Major Veal, we've done these guys over here, haven't we? Yep. This is Rasputin, I believe. Oh, then we've got the good old Red Chinkos that you saw from the last battle. Look, we can see that the well, now General, it'll be General Johnson now. No, Colonel Johnson we decided upon, wasn't it? So I keep going to see General. Colonel Johnson is now ready with his troops. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 companies, and obviously his artillery from the factories at the back right there. They'll be dug in this old red position, so we're probably going to be seeing a green camp appear over here. So this is where the troop movements come into play. So right here we have got another army approaching the battlefield. So this right here is General Green and his army. They're coming from General Liberty's camp. This is General Liberty's reserves. We can see that Liberty has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 companies ready to deploy. And remember, these things will change constantly throughout the battles as well, as during wartime they'll be constantly recruiting more soldiers. Over here we've also got Lieutenant Colonel T. This guy is in charge of defending against Tan territory. There's all the Tans over there. Look, we've actually had a battle here. It looks super duper epic. But yeah, all the troops are placed now. We can see that they've got a lot of reserves. This is one of the Discord generals. This is Lord Malice right here. Lord Malice has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, around 13 or 14 companies at this point in time. That matches the Discord. And the same goes for Mr. General CJ as well, if I can not get lost on my own battle map. So General CJ's forces consist of, I'm not even going to count them, there's just too many. If they have dark colour tents, it means that they're special forces as well. And you can see that there's also another front line here against the Tans. And these are actually within artillery range of each other, so CJ, I would probably move your troops, man, before they start shooting artillery. Or maybe it's already happened, who knows. Mwahaha. After all, I am the god of death and war. So over here we have the central trade area. Obviously we've been over this. This is all what was left over from the first few episodes of this season. And over here we have our Discord general for the Reds. He's right there, look. We've got one General Blaze, the man himself with the cigar. He's the richest guy on the Discord server. This is his army in real time, as you can see. Look, looks pretty cool. And he actually has some special forces where you can see some snipers right there. So who knows? Who knows where he'll deploy them? But yeah, right here we have Baron von Krasny. This is the leader of the Red Colonies. This guy is actually going to be deploying his army and sending it over here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get up this map right here, and I'm going to show you the troop movement. So you can see on the far right you've got Blazer's army. Every one of those squares represents 80 soldiers, and this is including the tents as well. So this is if those deployed. We've got Baron von Krasny. We've named all of the generals here, by the way, and all of the majors, any leader in any area. And these tiny little arrows that you see, very, very fadey arrows, yes. I mean, I can see them. I was going to try and do it in red. I wish I should have done it in red, really. Red for red, and green for green. I don't even know what I'm saying. You know, it's early in the morning. But anyway, so the Reds are going to be bringing Krasny's forces down here, and they're going to be moving on Johnson. And then Grin is going to be moving his troops from Liberty's force right here at FOB Greenington and moving to meet that front line with Krasny's force. So we're going to be seeing a front line with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 against the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 companies of Red. So 14 versus 18. But as you guys saw from the last battle, it doesn't matter how many soldiers you've got. It all depends on strategy and movement. As you guys know, that the artillery did soften up the base, and the Reds had like 1,500 troops against like 600 Greens, and the Greens, they won. And now they've brought all their reserves over, and that's what's left. I have deleted anybody that died on the field as well. So supporting that line on the northern side would be Redchenko. He can support Krasny, and if Blaze decides to bring his army as well onto that front line, it could be absolutely devastating for the Greens. The Greens are probably going to have to bring up some more soldiers from a Liberty. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw up this front line now, and we're going to make these troop movements and make it law. So that's going to be pretty cool. So in 3, 2, 1, boom. So there we go. We have all other units ready and moved on the battlefield. I decided this time, instead of making a very slow progress, we're going to speed things up a little bit and just bring every unit where they should be for this next battle. If you want to see more videos like this, I would be happy to do them. They're a lot quicker for me to do, rather than having to make a full map and a battle. Obviously I'll be doing both back to back, but these are just really cool videos that we can throw in between. We can make better sense of the story. Obviously now we have got General Grin, and we also have Colonel Johnson as well right there. So I don't know what we're going to do next. We've got Baron von Krasny. He's moved his troops up right here, look. We've got every soldier from the camp that's moved out. We have no idea what General Blaze is going to do. I'm going to leave that completely up to the Discord. Obviously the Blues have not yet got involved. I'm going to have to find out what they're going to do. But we can currently see that the Blues have a lot of men encamped over this line right here. Obviously the Reds have a border right here as well, around 160 soldiers protecting their border against the neutral Blues. But if the Blues do accept the Allied Treaty, and if they join the Green Coalition against the Reds, God knows what's going to happen. I take it the Blues might have to take this place first, not sure. Let me know in the comment section. Also let me know on Discord. Come into Discord and I don't know, send me a DM, talk to your general, and try and influence what happens in this series, because it's super cool. There's lots going on. We've got this huge battle map now, which is making it so much easier for me to tell it. So let's get the map up right here, look. So this is now the troop movements of all of our soldiers. Look, we can see that we've got Johnson and Grin right there, look. We've got Krasny. All the troop movements have been made. Razak has stayed in place, but maybe he could bring some of his reserve forces to come and support Redchenko for yet another attack. Maybe Johnson could go on the offensive and attack Redchenko or Razak's rear lines. Maybe Veal could go on the offensive, or maybe General Liberty could just send more troops to support the front line. Obviously over here as well, if we go over here, we can see that there is more going on as well. We've got Block City, which is the capital of the Greens and the home to Donald Grump. We can see Donald Grump right here, but they're under threat at the moment by the Greys, the Grey outcasts of Greyvan. They've been building up their troops right here. There is an old shed which they've dismantled, and they've used all of the resources to build up some of their vehicles and tanks, no doubt. Obviously I will represent them on the map in the future, but we can see that this is all of the grey units right here. We've got the AI units represented on the left, and then right here we have the Discord units represented right here, which is General Colm and his forces, and they are right on the doorstep of Greens, like the Greens main capital. And I've also heard a rumour, right, that there's going to be a bit of blackmail. So the Reds have decided, right, that they have the ability to clone, even though it was outlawed quite some time ago, as it was seen as like, I don't know, inhumane, implastane, I don't know, is that the word? But yeah, they stopped cloning some time ago during the first colonial war, and they decided not to do it anymore. They moved to more robots, and you know, they went from Augur to Mecha, that kind of thing. So they might bring cloning back for the Reds. They might break some treaties, considering that they are the imperial swine, and they own the whole of Plastica back in the plastic dimension. And I suppose they could change some rules, as Ruskan, their emperor, is now the supreme leader. So don't get the two mixed up. Ruskan is the leader of the Reds back in the plastic dimension, and then you've got Baron von Krasny over here, who is the leader of the Reds in the human dimension. So you can see him right there, look. It's super cool. Obviously this guy used to answer to Ruskan, used to be very good friends with them. These are colonies of the Imperial Empire from the plastic dimension. As you guys know, if you're new to the story, that is, they're responsible for sending plasticium through their portals to try and sustain their economy and their power in the plastic dimension, because there's this rare element in this universe called plasticium, and plasticium fuels everything. It can fuel their cars, they can use it as a currency, everything really. It's just overall great stuff. So we're going to get a map up right here anyway. This map shows everywhere in the Great Separation if you're confused for names. I do urge you to watch this video over and over if you want to learn more about each character. There's also a link to our little Army Men of War app in the description if you want to come and test out the beta, and you can also create some characters and do a little bit of roleplay on there as well. It is only beta, but it will improve, and you'll get to see it improve over time as well. So come on over. I'm pretty sure Survival Master will be more than happy to see more people in there taking part. But yeah, overall I think that's pretty much all we've got for this video. Like I say, with the cloning thing, I'm going to leave that to the next video, I think. It just gives you something to think about. If the Reds are going to bring back cloning, what could they possibly do? Hint, right? I dropped a few things in the Discord, right, and I was waiting to see who would end up with the item in the end, and it was like a lock of Tannenberg's hair. I think it was Commander Greyvern's hat, or a lock of, I can't remember, one of the other. I can't remember what way round it was. There might have been both lock of hairs, but if they've got this DNA, or PNA as I like to call it, plastic DNA, they can use that with the cloning machine to bring back some old adversaries, such as General Tannenberg maybe, and maybe Greyvern. So if the Reds have that power, and if they have that inventory in the Discord, right, just think of what they could do with the Greys and the Tans. Maybe they could bribe them, maybe they could form some sort of coalition against the Greens. God knows, or maybe they can even get the Blues on side. Maybe they could, or maybe they get Tannenberg right, and then they bring him back, but as a Red. How cool would that be? Let me know in the description. In the comments below. Yes, God, I'm so sticky this morning. It's terrible. I'm just all over the place with my words. Yeah, I'm MikeMapper123. If you want to see more like this, let me know. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff, all that typical YouTuber good stuff. Yes, please help me get to 100,000 subscribers. It's been a long time coming. I'm at 53,000 now. That's really cool. Really appreciative. Thank you to all my lovely, jubbly Army Men of War fans out there. You're super cool. Thank you for supporting me for all these years, and I'm glad to be back. I'm super excited to be back. So yeah, no doubt the Reds have bought some tanks up as well. I forgot to mention, because they have factories right here. So this is going to be cool. I'm looking forward to seeing this war progress. Maybe the Blues will come up behind them, for all we know. You know, what if the Blues just cross the border out of nowhere, and just next thing you know, you've got 1,000 Blues right here. Blues, get deciding in the Discord. You know, give me some hints. But we'll see what happens next. Anyway, I will see you all in the next one.